Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the importance of network and networking for your consulting career. We'll start by learning the concepts, how to leverage them, and how to use them effectively to grow your career over time. We'll then end it with some closing thoughts. I hope you enjoy. Network, cultivating connections that propel your career. Networking isn't just about collecting business cards. It's about building relationships that support your growth and help you serve clients better. According to recruitment firm Michael Page, active professional networking is vital to career growth. Building relationships helps raise your professional profile and often means you're among the first to learn about new opportunities. Networking also provides a support system when you face challenges and allows you to build long-term relationships across industries. Let's explore each component of a robust network. First component of a robust network: strategic connections, which are those relationships that directly influence your career trajectory. They include partners who staff projects, senior managers who can mentor you, and influential clients. Build strategic connections by actively practicing the following key activities. Identifying key stakeholders. Map out who holds decision-making power in your practice area. Learn about their interests and priorities. Engaging intentionally. Attend town halls, practice meetings, and firm events where these stakeholders are present. Ask thoughtful questions and share your interests. Staying visible. Volunteer for high-impact projects, committees, or task forces. Visibility often leads to strategic relationships. Second component of a robust network. Internal resources include colleagues and subject matter experts within your firm. These relationships help you deliver quality work and navigate the organization. To cultivate internal resources, actively practice the following key activities. Build cross-team relationships. Connect with peers in other practices, for example, finance or technology, to learn about their work. Collaboration across teams increases your knowledge base and fosters camaraderie. Leverage knowledge communities. Many firms have internal forums or knowledge bases. Participate actively by asking questions and sharing answers. This positions you as both a learner and a contributor. Create internal alliances. Form peer support groups where you share resources, discuss challenges, and help each other navigate your careers. Third component of a robust network. External resources include clients, alumni, vendors, and industry contacts. They broaden your perspective and can lead to future engagements or job opportunities. To build your external network, rigorously practice the following. Maintain client relationships. After a project ends, stay connected with clients through periodic check-ins or by sharing articles relevant to their industry. These touchpoints keep you on their radar. Attend industry events. Conferences, webinars, and professional associations expose you to thought leaders and practitioners outside your firm. Introduce yourself and follow up afterward. Join alumni and professional networks. Alumni groups are fertile ground for connections. People are often willing to help someone from their alma mater. Fourth component of a robust network. A knowledge-based network which comprises of experts you can turn to for specialized information. For example, if you're a supply chain consultant but need input on tax implications, your knowledge network might include a tax specialist. To build a strong knowledge-based network, start doing this. Identify gaps in your knowledge. List areas where you're less confident, for example, cybersecurity, regulatory compliance. Seek out colleagues or external experts in those areas. Ask and reciprocate. When you ask for help, offer something in return, such as your own expertise or a resource you've found useful. This reciprocity builds trust. Participate in professional communities. Join online forums, Slack groups, or associations dedicated to your field. Engage in discussions and contribute insights. Fifth component of a robust network. Build your online network, which includes connections on LinkedIn and other professional platforms. It complements in-person networks and helps you reach people across geographies. To cultivate your online network, focus on sharing insights and content, Post articles, comment on industry trends, and congratulate colleagues on achievements. This keeps you visible and demonstrates thought leadership. Engaging in online conversations. Participate in LinkedIn groups or Twitter chats related to your industry. Ask questions, share experiences, and connect with like-minded professionals. Be mindful of your digital footprint. Ensure your online interactions align with your brand and values. Employers and clients often review social profiles when making decisions. Sixth component of a robust network. Talent mapping, which refers to understanding who has which skills within and outside your organization and connecting people to the right opportunities. By mapping the correct talent to the correct skills and capabilities, you can achieve great results such as build effective teams. When leading a project, identify colleagues who possess the needed expertise, for example, data modeling, change management, and invite them to join. This ensures project success and exposes you to new collaborators. However, actively identify knowledge gaps. If you realize your network lacks experts in a particular area, proactively seek them out. For instance, if your firm plans to enter the public sector, map out who has government experience and build relationships accordingly. Ensure you always have mentors and sponsors available. When you know who excels in what, you can match junior consultants with mentors, who can help them grow, extending your network and creating positive impacts. Core networking principles. Always practice the following principles to maintain healthy and growing networks. Give before you ask. Offer help, share resources, and celebrate others' successes. Reciprocity is central to healthy networks. By being generous, you build goodwill that often returns to you in unexpected ways. Be intentional. Don't wait until you need a favor to cultivate relationships. Schedule time each week for networking activities, from commenting on a colleague's post to attending a professional event. Diversify your connections. A network solely composed of people like you limits your growth. Seek out individuals in different industries, functional areas, generations, and cultures. They provide new perspectives and help you identify emerging trends. Maintain your network. Relationships wither without attention. Set reminders to reach out to contacts periodically. Even a brief message noting a shared interest or congratulating them on a promotion can keep the connection alive. Ask good questions. When meeting someone, ask about their challenges, what they enjoy about their work, and how they got to where they are. People appreciate genuine curiosity and will be more inclined to stay in touch. Examples of healthy networking practices. Suppose you're a junior consultant with aspirations to work in sustainability. At an internal networking event, you introduce yourself to a senior manager who leads ESG projects. You follow up with a note thanking her for the conversation and sharing an article on carbon accounting. A few weeks later, she invites you to join a small project related to sustainability strategy. Your proactive networking opened a new pathway. On the other hand, imagine you reach out to someone only when you need something. They may still help, but the relationship feels transactional. Over time, people will be less inclined to support you if they sense that you're only interested in them when there's something to gain. Networking is about building genuine, long-term relationships. Key takeaways. Active networking raises your professional profile, provides support during challenges, and keeps you informed about opportunities. Build networks by focusing on strategic connections, internal resources, external resources, knowledge-based contacts, online communities, and talent mapping. Diversify your connections and nurture them over time. Approach networking with generosity and curiosity. Offer value, ask insightful questions, and maintain regular contact. By putting these principles, philosophies, and core values into practice, you will be able to seed, grow, and expand an organic, healthy network that will propel your career and that of others. All right, I hope you guys liked the content. Now let's have some closing thoughts. So let's start talking about the different components of building a sustainable and long-term effective network. The first thing, as we mentioned, is building the strategic connections. So what does that entail? identifying key stakeholders, engaging intentionally, and staying visible. What does that mean? That means you have to make sure that the connections that you make are effective, they're strategic, they serve your long-term view. And to get to that, you need to, number one, identify them. Number two, you have to engage them, like it says, intentionally. You have to have a plan, and as any relationship, you have to have a two-way street. In other words, you also have to be able to offer something in return for the connection and the benefit. And last thing in this particular group or bucket is the staying visible, meaning you have to make sure that you keep in contact with those people. If you meet someone important and you never contact them again, then you're going to lose that relationship. The second thing that we talked about was managing or being able to obtain internal resources or being able to leverage them properly. Now, the first thing that you got to do is you got to build cross-team relationships, meaning you have a certain expertise, you work for a certain team, and you also need to broaden your knowledge. You need to broaden your scope, your spectrum, and for you to achieve that, you need to be able to create relationships with other teams. The other thing that you need to do is you need to leverage knowledge communities. What does that mean? That means if you have a certain expertise, if you have a certain core skill set, and you need to increase your knowledge on that core skill set, then you need to be part of these communities, because these people are constantly innovating, they're constantly researching, they're constantly growing, and if you don't keep up, then you're going to be left behind. And the last thing is you need to create internal alliances, meaning if you have sponsors, if you have supporters, if you have people who can help you across the organization, not only will you remain visible, but you will also have someone who can always vouch for you, who can always speak positively about you to others. The other thing we learned about today was, in addition to internal resources, is to leverage external resources. What does that mean? That means if you work with clients, you don't want to forget about them. You don't want to lose those relationships that you have built over time. You want to attend industry events so that you stay up to date, you stay refreshed with what's out there, what's going on, what others are doing in the market. And the last thing is you want to join alumni professional networks, meaning if you, since you may have changed jobs, you want to remain connected with the other company, with your last employer. If you are of a certain profession that has professional networks, professional associations, you want to be a member of those professional associations so that you know what's going on and what's up to date. In order to maintain your knowledge fresh, you also have to build a knowledge-based network. What does that mean? That means if you are a professional in a specific skill set, you want to be connected to people who know that same skill set, who are always innovating so that you can continue to grow. You ask and reciprocate, meaning you can, sometimes you may need something from someone, but if you are always the person asking, but you are not the one who, when asked, provides helpful feedback or any kind of help, then those relationships are not going to be two-way, they're not going to be effective. And the last thing is participate in those professional communities. Don't just join them, don't just read their newsletter, actually be an active participant so that they know who you are. And when those individuals hear about something that may interest you or where they could use you, they'll think of you. The next big bucket in the networking topic is the building of your online network. So in addition to having an actual real life network with people that you meet in person, you also want to have an online presence. Why? Because that keeps you in touch indirectly with people that you don't interact with in person. The first thing you want to do is you want to share insights and content. So if you have a certain expertise and you want to help others and you don't necessarily have the availability to help people in person, or you feel like helping them one by one is not very effective, you can share that knowledge online, as I am doing right now. You can post something on the internet. You can use social media. It doesn't have to be for your growth. To give you an example, I'm doing this to help others, to share my knowledge. It's not that I'm necessarily looking to grow into something big. I just want to be able to put this out there for whoever can benefit from it. In addition to that, you want to engage in online conversations. So what does that mean? You don't just want to post the content and walk away from it. A lot of people have good insights about what you posted, or have good insights about a topic that you are an expert on or someone knowledgeable about, and they could benefit from your answers. They could benefit from you answering their questions, or maybe even debating a particular topic that you consider. Some people are posting something that is incomplete, and you might want to give your 2 cents. But of course, always be mindful of your footprint. Just remember that the internet never forgets. So whatever you put out there on the internet should be something that you can ask yourself in 10 years, if someone reads this about me, would I be embarrassed? Would I back away from these comments? Would I backtrack these things that I said? Or am I embarrassed? So yeah, always be mindful of what you put out on the internet. The last thing that I wanted to close with was the talent mapping. So when you're building that network, you want to make sure that you know who's who, where they are, whether they're available or not, how you can help them, and how they can help you, and things of that sort. So you always want to be aware of that, the talent network that you need or that you can help. And how do you do that? The first thing is you want to surround yourself with people who are intelligent, who are capable, and who can provide the team that you work with the best value. Not only that, but they can also provide value to the clients that you serve and the other teams that you help. So you always want to be mindful about the people that you surround yourself with on your immediate radar. Obviously, we're not all knowledgeable. So if you're an expert in a certain area, but you have certain gaps in your knowledge, or you have identified things that you are missing, always be mindful of those things. Because if you know where your gaps are, you know, based on your talent mapping, where you can fill those gaps, or who has the knowledge that you'd require in order to fill those gaps. We all have situations where we're presented with questions or things that we don't know, we're not so sure about, and that's okay, as long as we are able to know who might have the answers and we can tap into that network quickly. And the last thing related to the talent mapping is it's not just knowledge of your core skill, but it's also related to who can talk about you. Just like I said at the beginning, if you have sponsors, if you have people who can provide positive references or positive thoughts about you, that's something that you want to keep in mind, and it's an essential part of your talent mapping. Well, I hope this content has been helpful to you. So we'll see you next time.